up and then they go to it. And then when they're all done, they pop this whole thing into the freezer, and then a few minutes later you pop off the stone. I have broken a lot of stones that way. I've also had a lot of them break off, the stone just fall off while I'm cutting because the adhesion is not so great. So I've switched over to super glue. So I get the biggest nail that Home Depot has. I don't know, that's about 1/4 inch. It's much longer when I buy it. I chop it down and I'll flatten the head because usually there's a little bit of flashing on that head. You want a perfectly flat head. And then I might shape it in an oval or whatever in case the natural size is too large for some of the stones. And then I'm sorry, I don't have well, I do. So here's a stone that doesn't have a dop stick. I will set it down, I'll put a drop of super glue on the back, and then I'll put that down, and in a few seconds it's stuck. I buy super glue and then the bottle, it hardens before I finish the thing. So this is great. This is like $3, $4 at Harbor Freight. There's 10 of them here. So each one of them, if you wait a year to open one of these, it's good. And then in a week it'll be hardened, So there's dop sticks. Anyone use dop sticks when they're cabbing? Okay, I highly recommend it. I mean, you have control. It gives you control over the shaping. You can twirl it. You can do things.
Okay. Put that in the freezer. That'll come off.
No, the super glue. I'm sorry. I get a jar of acetone. The reason I cut the nails down short is just I had a machinist make these handles for me, and the short. Things all I need combined with this, that's about all I need. That's about 4 inches. And then it's easy to put this in the jar. If I had a full length nail, I need a bigger jar, I need more acetone. And if you leave the lid off, it evaporates. It evaporates even with the lid on, right? So you put that in acetone and maybe the next morning or whatever, maybe 3 weeks from now it'll pop off. It depends on how perfectly flat it was. So there's my first use of glue, dop sticks. Another thing is a lot of us, we cut slabs. And I had something here I was supposed to bring, but it didn't happen. So let's say that you have a really odd shaped rock and you want to cut slabs, but it's really awkward to put it in the saw vise in a way that works for you. You might be able to find a way to put it in the vise where you can just cut it in half, okay? But you're not cutting slabs because that's maybe not the direction you wanted them. So you get one cut made, and then sometimes stones are awkward shapes, so they're hard to put in the vise. So I glue a piece of block. Many people use a piece of 2x4, but I've never found a piece of 2x4 that was flat. They're all like cupped, and also we use saws that run oil in them. So if you use 2x4, it soaks up oil. You can only use it once, then you can't do it again because it's got oil, and the glue I use will not stick to oily wood. So I went to the granite countertop place and got some scraps. Typically, I use about a 3-inch by 3-inch piece. This is for really small rocks that I want to run through the slab saw. And this is the glue I use for that. Water glass, sodium silicate. They used to use it to coat eggs. They used it to repair radiators. This is a cement floor coating. I think it's even a dessert topping. It's Saturday Night Live. Okay. Anyway, this is a gallon and it's like $30 or so, 25, 30. The trouble is, this is going to harden before I get to it all. So I put a little bit in a small jar. And then when I go to apply it, I don't have to open this up. And I keep this in the dark.
So are you using that straight on the rocks without any additive, or are you putting the...
Well, what I'll do is I'll just put a little bit here, or on the rock, put it on there, wait till it cures.
Okay.
It's just a little bit of glue.
You're not adding anything to that?
No.
Okay.
And this is a temporary glue, so I want this on here. This is now easy to put in a vise. The vise is it's easy to grab onto something rectangular. Then I put it in the vise, make my cuts, and then the very last piece is gonna be a slab stuck to the granite countertop, and I just put that in a bucket of water. The water glass will dissolve. And likewise, it depends on how perfectly, if this is perfectly flat and your granite piece is really flat, it might take 2 weeks to get off of there. Usually that's just an extreme, but that could happen. Okay, so there's two uses of a type of glue for lapidary. Another one is we use diamond-coated wheels to grind our stones, and they wear out, and they're very expensive to buy new ones. So instead of buying a new wheel, I mix up diamond powder. This is 3,000 grit. It's in a cup. It's double bagged, so it's really kind of a green, a puke green color, like Dave's hat. And it's not that expensive. You know, I think this is 20 grams, so that's 100 carats. There's 5 carats to the gram, and it's 3,000 grit, and this might have been $10 or something like that. In fact, the glue might cost you more than the diamond powder. So what I do is I recoat the wheel. I mix up epoxy. I like a 30-minute epoxy because that gives me time to work. And then I do it, I mix up, I use a piece of glass, a scrap of glass, and I first mix my epoxy. I've done it for a few years, so I kind of have an idea of how much epoxy to lay out there. Mix that first on the glass with a putty knife. And then I weigh out my diamond on a little carat scale, gram scale, and then I put in the diamond. Once the epoxy's all mixed, I mix that into the epoxy, and then I recoat the wheel. That's still on the machine. What I do is I leave it on the machine instead of taking it off and putting it on something else, because that's extra work. I clean it on the machine and make sure it's super clean. I use acetone and water, and then when it's all clean, I recoat it. 30-minute epoxy gives me enough time to get it all, you know, let's say I mixed up my epoxy on the glass, and I just kind of roughly put it on that wheel with the putty knife, and once it's fully covered, I've got it all off the glass, then I kind of blend it together, trying to make it smooth. It's never gonna look perfect. I should have brought a wheel in that's been recoated. It's a little, you know, lumpy, but once you start using it, basically it flattens out. So it's very effective, it's very cheap. I think that it cost me in glue and diamond maybe under $6 to do a wheel. Then there's my time. You know. And I've been doing it for about 12, 13 years. I haven't bought a new belt or new wheel in all that time.
How many grams of diamond would you put on a wheel?
It all depends. So I use the 8-inch diameter, 3-inch wide belts. And I put between 10 and 15 carats on there. So that's 2 and 3 grams. And sometimes I experiment. Sometimes I think, well, you know, let's see. Let's try more this time or less this time and see if that improves it or not.
Where do you get your diamond paste at?
Not paste, it's powder. Basically, eBay or AliExpress, those are 2 places I purchased it. Pardon?
Not Rio Grande or whatever?
If they had it, it would be a lot more money.
Okay.
I've never bought from them. There was another guy recommended, and I just found this eBay vendor, and it's been good. Questions about the diamond wheel coating? Okay, so that's the third type of use for epoxy in lapidary. Another thing is stabilizing. I had some slabs I was supposed to bring. They're all at home. I just finished stabilizing them. So basically, my curse is that almost everything that I collect myself needs to be stabilized. It's got fractures, it's got pits. It's because I'm lazy. I could probably dig, and the stuff that's underground has been protected from the elements, but I don't dig. I get the stuff off the surface. I'm lazy. And so it's been through several freeze-thaw cycles. And when you cut it, so Mary just she handed me this. This is some Mexican crazy lace. Can you see all the fractures? Mm-hmm. You can see them from your seats, maybe? Okay, they're bad ones. And if you're making cabochons to put in jewelry, you don't want to have a fracture running through the beautiful stone. So there's this really great glue called Hextal, Hxtal. And it comes in a larger container, but I put it in smaller squeeze bottles. And I use it to selectively stabilize. I don't stabilize whole slabs, I don't immerse them. What I do is I get a 100-watt heat lamp. You remember incandescent heat lamps or just regular old bulbs, 100 watt. You put that on the rock for about an hour, hour and a half. I have a steel plate underneath there. It gets really hot. You could also use a little toaster oven. So I get the rock nice and hot, and then I mix up my Hextal, which is like a 3-to-1 mix. And then I also, likewise, I mix it on something flat. I'll take, this is like mail, that's coated stock. Coated stock is what you want, because if it's not coated, then maybe as you are mixing your epoxy, some things are soaking into the paper and your chemistry is just thrown off, you know? So I just trim little pieces out big enough, and I use toothpicks to mix, the flat toothpicks. And I kind of use them as a squeegee to make sure that I'm mixing everything, and that when I'm done, I get to use everything. I don't throw a bunch away. I mean, you're mixing up drops. The smallest amount I can mix is 1 drop of B with 3 drops of A. So that's pretty minimal. And if you throw half of that away, then you know your glues can last you half the time. So this is it. I'm not going to actually mix up any here because it would stay sticky for a while.
What's the cure rate for people?
It takes 7.
You don't use a light.
It takes 7 days to cure, but I'm impatient, so I use the same heat light that I heated it up to cure it. And things like this would actually just disappear. At least, you know, to start. It may be that as I'm grinding a cabochon, they might reappear, and I reapply. I've done that a few times. This one I'm wearing, I just finished. It's really nasty. It's got some really nasty fractures in it, but I pretty much made them invisible. I would be throwing a lot of my material away, but I end up salvaging it, and I can make stuff. So Hxtal, there's when I looked up online, and there's a place in North Carolina, and there's a place in Denver that sells it. You have to have it shipped. Nobody local. Anyone ever used Hextal?
Yeah.
You, Steve, Mitch, Gordon? Yeah. It's kind of pricey stuff.
I ordered it on the internet.
Okay.
It's a gold standard for lapidary.
Well,
It doesn't yellow over decades.
yeah. Their target market is glass. People that make things with glass. They want a clear glue. It's just nice that it dries fairly solid, fairly hard. It's not as hard as agate. That would be nice, but it's not.
It's the same clarity as borosilicate glass. So when it's cured, it looks like glass.
Yeah.
When it's in whatever surface it is.
It doesn't yellow, doesn't
No,
yellow.
it doesn't yellow.
It's actually what they use to fix chips in windshields.
And then if you use it sparingly, that expensive stuff is no longer so expensive. I'll spend like $50 on a quantity, and it'll last me 5 years.
And some of us lather it on heavily.
He's going to keep the company in business. So there's 4 kinds of glues used in lapidary. Any questions?